Welcome back to another deep dive with us. Last time we were exploring how Sun Tzu uses deception and perception as weapons in the art of war. But today we're going to kind of turn the page to chapter 2, waging war, where Sun Tzu gets down to like the nitty-gritty of
the real deal.
Waging war.
And you might be thinking, hold on, I'm not planning any military campaigns.
Right.
But that's the beauty of Sun Tzu.
Yeah.
His wisdom transcends the battlefield.
Absolutely. We're going to uncover how this ancient wisdom applies to modern-day battles in the boardroom, the stock market, and even our own lives.
Sun Tzu emphasizes that knowing when to fight is just as crucial as knowing how to fight. He warns against prolonged conflict, arguing that it ultimately benefits no one.
It makes sense, right? Like imagine a company pouring all its resources into a venture that just keeps dragging on and on and on with no end in sight. Eventually, something's got to give.
Precisely, Sun Tzu compares it to a prolonged war, stating, there is no instance of a country having benefited from prolonged warfare.
Wow.
Those drawn-out struggles drain resources, whether they're financial, emotional, or strategic.
So it's not just about winning a single battle. It's about winning the war, but also preserving your strength for the future.
Exactly. And to illustrate this point, let's look at a modern-day war that played out in the business world. Netflix versus Blockbuster.
Blockbuster.
Yeah.
A classic cautionary tale. They were the kings of the video rental world, but then streaming came along and, well, we all know how that ended.
Blockbuster clung to their brick-and-mortar stores,
Yeah.
failing to adapt to the changing landscape.
Right.
They saw streaming as a niche market and didn't grasp the threat it posed.
They thought they could win by just outlasting the competition.
Yeah.
But as Sun Tzu warns, prolonged conflict can lead to depletion, and that's exactly what happened to Blockbuster. They simply ran out of resources and ultimately surrendered.
Netflix, on the other hand, understood the importance of timing and adaptability.
Right.
They recognized the shift towards streaming and embraced it wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
They didn't just dip their toes in, they dove head first.
It's interesting because they were a DVD by mail company, not even a tech company in the beginning.
Right.
But they were able to transform themselves to meet the demands of a changing market.
And that's what makes their story so compelling. They were agile, willing to pivot and adjust their strategy as the battleground shifted.
This reminds me of something Sun Tzu wrote. Supreme excellence consists of breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. Netflix essentially did that to Blockbuster by recognizing the changing landscape and adapting their strategy accordingly.
Exactly. They outmaneuvered their opponent without engaging in a head-to-head battle that could have drained their resources.
Yeah.
They understood the importance of timing and chose their battles wisely.
This brings up a crucial question for us today. Are we choosing our battles wisely? Are we pouring our energy and resources into ventures that align with the changing landscape? Or are we clinging to outdated models and fighting battles that we're destined to lose? It's a question worth pondering, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It's a question that applies not just to businesses, but to individuals as well.
Right.
We all have limited resources, time, energy, money.
Yeah.
And it's up to us to decide how we allocate those resources and what battles are worth fighting.
Right.
Think about it this way. Are you holding on to a stock that's been plummeting, hoping it will magically rebound? Or are you staying in a job that drains you, telling yourself things will get better?
Ooh, that hits close to home for a lot of people, I bet.
Right.
It's easy to get stuck in that mindset of like hoping things will change
Yeah.
instead of us making it change ourselves.
And that's where Sun Tzu's wisdom comes in.
Yeah.
He urges us to recognize when a battle is draining us,
Yeah.
when it's no longer serving our strategic goals.
He's basically saying, don't be afraid to cut your losses and move on, which can be tough to do emotionally speaking.
Right.
You know, we get attached to things, investments, jobs, even relationships.
It's human nature to resist change, but as Sun Tzu reminds us, clinging to a losing battle only leads to further depletion.
Right.
It's like throwing good money after bad.
Okay, so we've talked about the dangers of prolonged conflict and the importance of knowing when to retreat. But what about the flip side?
Yeah.
Knowing when to strike.
That's equally crucial.
Okay.
Sun Tzu emphasizes that when opportunity presents itself,
Yeah.
you must act decisively and with focus.
It's about seizing the moment, right?
Yeah.
Like a surfer catching the perfect wave. If you hesitate, the wave will pass you by and you'll miss your chance.
Precisely think about the rise of TikTok.
Okay.
They emerged at a time when short-form video content was gaining immense popularity.
Right.
They didn't hesitate. They seized the moment and capitalized on that trend.
And they were relentless in their execution. They constantly innovated, added new features, and kept their platform engaging and fresh.
Yeah.
It's like they were reading Sun Tzu's playbook.
They understood the importance of momentum and didn't allow themselves to become complacent.
Right.
They kept pushing forward, always adapting to the evolving digital landscape.
This makes me think about the tech landscape as a whole.
Yeah.
It's a constant battleground with companies vying for dominance.
And those who succeed are often the ones who can adapt quickly, recognize opportunities, and strike decisively when the time is right.
So it's not just about having a great product or service. It's about knowing when to launch it, how to market it, how to constantly evolve to stay ahead of the competition.
Exactly. It's about understanding the strategic landscape and making calculated moves that maximize your chances of success.
And this principle of strategic timing doesn't just apply to companies. It's relevant for leaders in all fields.
Absolutely. Think about a leader who rushes into a decision without fully assessing the situation. They might end up facing unintended consequences, just like a general who charges into battle without a sound strategy.
Or a leader who hesitates when a decisive action is needed.
Right.
They might miss a crucial opportunity, allowing a competitor to gain an advantage.
Leadership at its core is about making strategic choices that align with your goals and navigating the ever-changing landscape with wisdom and foresight.
So whether you're leading a company, a team, or even just your own life, Sun Tzu's lessons on timing and resource management are incredibly relevant.
They provide us with a framework for making strategic decisions, assessing risks, and ultimately achieving victory, whatever that may look like for you.
It's about knowing when to fight, when to wait, and how to use your resources wisely to achieve your goals.
And it's about recognizing that sometimes the most strategic move is knowing when to walk away from a battle that's no longer serving you.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into waging war, I'd like to leave you with a question to ponder.
Yeah.
What situations in your life might benefit from applying Sun Tzu's wisdom? Are there battles you're fighting that are draining your resources? Are there opportunities you're missing because you're hesitant to strike?
It's a question worth asking ourselves regularly as we navigate the complexities of our personal and professional lives because, as Sun Tzu reminds us, victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win.
And that brings us to a truly intriguing concept that we'll explore in our next episode, Attack by Stratagem.
It's about achieving victory without even having to fight the ultimate power move.
Winning without fighting. I'm all ears. Can you give us a sneak peek at what we'll be unpacking next time?
Imagine companies that have disrupted entire industries without ever engaging in direct confrontation.
Okay.
They've used innovation, strategic partnerships, and market positioning to achieve dominance. That's what Attack by Stratagem is all about.
Wow, that sounds like a game changer. It's not about brute force, it's about outsmarting your opponent.
Exactly, and it's a principle that applies to all aspects of life. It's about thinking outside the box, finding creative solutions, and achieving your goals without unnecessary conflict.
I'm already hooked. So until next time, dear listeners, keep strategizing, keep adapting. And remember, sometimes the most strategic move is knowing when